All right.
Hold on one second,
stand
actually.
by.
One sec.
Diane, just one final check. You can hear us okay?
Okay. Yep. Now we're good.
All set?
Yep.
Okay. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday, January 9th, 2024 meeting of the Long Meadow School Committee. School committees and other public bodies may continue to hold remote meetings through March 31st, 2025, under legislation enacted on March 29th, 2023. The statute, Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, extends quorum reductions for remote meetings. All votes while there is remote participation must be made by roll call vote. This meeting is being recorded and aired live on LCTV. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have no correspondence for this evening, which will move us right to approval of last meeting's minutes. If anyone would like to make a motion.
I move that the school committee approve the minutes to the December 19th, 2023 school committee meeting as presented.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, we will move to a vote. Julie is online. All right. Zach?
Yes.
Julie? Michaela?
Yes.
I'm reminding myself Julie's over there. Mary?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
Julie, are you able to hear us yet?
I can hear you.
All right, perfect. Yes or no for approval of minutes?
Yes.
Thank you, and yes for me as well. All right, we are moving now on to our public speak portion of the event. If there are any community members who would like to speak, I don't see any online. If there's any in the room, yep, come on up, help yourself to the microphone, name and all that good stuff. And
Sure. Hi, school committee. Thanks. Is this working?
You're good to
Yes.
go. Yeah.
Okay, great. My name is Spencer Ackerman. I live here in Longmeadow. My oldest son is in first grade at Blueberry Hill School, and I have two other children. My family moved here a few years ago, and we're excited to be members of Longmeadow. My family is Jewish, and I'm also a volunteer. I'm a member of the Temple Bethel community, and also a volunteer advisor for our teen youth Jewish group organization here in the Springfield area called BBYO, or B'nai B'rith Youth Organization. So I come as a concerned parent regarding the most recent incident that Marty emailed the Longmeadow community about regarding a swastika being an erased swastika being left on a whiteboard at the Longmeadow High School. When my family, I from my understanding of the turn of events is that I'm not sure this incident would have received that much attention if it weren't for some active parents pointing this out. And I know members of the teen members of the BBYO organization were deeply troubled by this event. I am concerned because I don't get the sense that this matter's being taken very seriously by the Longmeadow School District. A swastika, it pains me to think that my children that could that I'd like to go through the Longmeadow school system would have to suffer from any form of kind of bullying or concern of anti-Semitism. And so that's why I'm here with you today to raise these concerns.
thank you. Appreciate you coming down. I'm not sure if you maybe wanted to say something, but I will just say as a committee, this is something that we also were deeply troubled by. And we remain committed to the work of continuing to move forward in ways that help make sure that our schools are safe and welcoming and inviting for all of our students. And I know that you can maybe speak potentially a little more about the details of what that investigation has looked like.
Yeah, I thank you for joining us tonight, and I think that anti-Semitic symbol, the swastika, was disheartening to us all. It was troubling. It was something that I hope is not a reflection of who we are, who we try to be. I think it is important to call these things out, and you know, I was going to save some comments for my superintendent's report, but it's okay. I'll share some thoughts now. I think, you know, we you know, I think our response isn't complete yet. I think certainly there's a foundation of practice that we can lean on. There's strategies, there's programming, there's approaches that we can lean into to continue to create that community of belonging that we all want here in Longmeadow Public Schools and respond to anti-Semitic events and other expressions of hate and discrimination aimed at ancestry or ethnicity or race or religion or gender. And so we certainly want to be very explicit in our response. I think some of the foundational practices that are in place will certainly help us. And when I think about the bullying resources that we make available to folks, when I think about even our Yale Ruler program, which is a social emotional program designed to build skills of empathy and understanding in young people, I think those are some things that we can lean into. But we've been talking as an administrative team, and I've been talking with some community partners about some ongoing strategies that we could put in place. We have historically had a relationship with the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, but that's a partnership that we want to expand in the coming months. Our peer leaders here at Longmeadow High have been trained by the ADL to create programming for students and staff designed to promote that sense of belonging and understanding. But we want to bring that down to our middle schools as well in the months ahead. I'm working with Nilda Irizarry as our Director of Student and Family Support. And Nilda is investigating a program sponsored by the ADL called No Place for Hate, and it's something that our middle school administrators are equally interested in. That would involve training a cohort of middle school students and having them work with their peers, work with their classmates, work across the school to, again, combat all forms of hate. And especially right now, I think is, you know, that response to the anti-Semitic swastika that appeared, that was written on our whiteboard, is something that we have to be, you know, hit head on. The ADL also offers some sort of community engagement events that we're exploring, and so we're hoping to build on some of the sort of community engagement or parent programming that we've done in the past. And so there's a number of things that have been in place that we will strengthen and amplify, and then there's some new strategies and initiatives that we're looking at as well. So I appreciate you joining us tonight, and you know, I think we were all saddened by that incident, and it's something that I know this committee has been in close contact with me about, and I know the committee has some firm expectations about how we respond and how we support families that have experienced that type of hate and discrimination. So we're deeply troubled by it. We're sorry that it happened, and you know, we're committed to addressing it going forward. So
Yeah, I almost wonder if there's students in the Longmeadow school system that don't really appreciate what the swastika really means. Yeah, and I guess I wonder, like, I would hope that like a school committee, a school assembly would, like, I would imagine that could be an appropriate response to this, to make sure that all students are aware of these types of, symbols and what they mean. And I guess I worry about, taking too long to respond to this incident because it makes, I would imagine that the students that are Jewish in the Longmeadow school system, when they see something like this, and like a response, if a response takes weeks from the school, it can, send the wrong message to make them feel like, the school has their back. So I just encourage, something more than, just a community-wide notification to happen as soon as possible.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, and I would concur. And I think you raise a point that, curriculum and instruction is a part of this as well, and finding those sort of teachable moments, whether it be sort of, at the classroom level or a school-wide level. I think those are the opportunities that we want to look for. And so yeah, I think you can count on that, the response to be even more immediate and ongoing.
Okay.
Thank you very much for coming out. Welcome to the community. I hope
Great.
you know this is definitely something we take very seriously, and we hope that it's not a reflection of your experience here moving forward.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further public speak? I don't think I see anyone there. All right. School committee announcements and recognitions. If anyone has anything they'd like to share, now would be an excellent time to do so. All right. Seeing none, we have no business with guests. Chair report, I just had a couple of quick shout outs for recognitions across the district. One to Kayla Werlin, Arthur Tomasian, and the entire LHS music committee, music department rather, for an absolutely beautiful winter concert before we left for break. Special mention to Samuel Bloomberg for his original composition, Fireflies, that was performed by the Lyrics Group. Really beautiful and very amazing work by one of our students. And also congratulations to the music department on the 60th annual performance of The Lord Bless You and Keep You, which brings a stage full of Longmeadow alumni every year forward to join the chorus and celebrate together. It is a really moving testament to the lasting impact that the music department has had over generations of students. And then my second one is a note of thanks and congratulations to the Longmeadow team and all of their advisors for a great start to their preseason, and particularly thank them for the launching this year of new first LEGO Robotics Leagues with 4 enthusiastic teams of future scientists and engineers from our elementary and middle schools. We are thankful to them for the time and energy they put in to bringing engineering and robotics to our younger students as well, and wish them all a successful launch with this year's competitive season. All right, superintendent report.
Sure, yeah. I'll start with one item that actually is connected to the public comment period that we just had. And Nilda Irizarry and I are working closely on redesigning our website to ensure that we have in one accessible place the resources that families might need or students might need if they would like to report incidents of hate or bias, or if they need to understand what resources exist here in the district. So you can count on that sometime in the very near future. So thank you to Nilda and for our administrators for helping to pull that information together, again, in a place that is hopefully accessible and engaging to families. Tomorrow evening, the Special Education Alliance of Longmeadow is hosting a webinar titled Bullying, What Parents Need to Know. So the registration went out to families, so I hope that we have a good turnout for that event. From Beth Nelson in our curriculum office, the elementary literacy pilot is still well underway. We have teams going to visit some elementary schools in the next couple of weeks. We're focusing on schools that are in year 2 of implementation of some literacy programs that are under consideration. Also, we're actively planning for our March 8th Professional Development Day. One of the focuses will be on universal design for learning. Novak Education is a partner that we've used in the past that we've engaged to do some seminars and workshops on the 8th. Looking forward to Thursday is my next chance to work with our district administrators on the DEI co-lead project that is sponsored by the Mass Association of School Superintendents, so looking forward to that. Would also want the committee and families to know about the safety exercises that are always underway, anticipating that by the end of February, maybe early March, that all of our schools would have had presentation from the LPD on avoid, deny, defend, that they would have conducted a active safety drill for students, and that they will have worked on a tabletop hazardous exercise with the Long Meadow Fire Department. So those things are regularly sort of underway and sort of sometimes quietly happening in the background, but I would want the committee to know that those are things that we're always actively working on. Over the break, we had 10 Halo vape detectors installed in LHS restrooms. These vape detectors are not activated yet, but administrators are going to be trained in the coming weeks, and we expect the installation of a small number of devices at the middle school in the coming days as well. And then thanks to the Timmy Strong Foundation for continuing to sponsor hands-only CPR training for interested staff. We had the central office staff engaged in the hands-only training earlier this week, and super fun, but more importantly, super informative and helpful. So lots going on. Happy to answer any questions that you might have. And shout out to this is maybe a little arcane, but worth noting, our IT department under the leadership of Antonio Pagan successfully migrated Munis to the cloud. Munis is our main platform for purchasing and for HR and payroll. So that was a heavy lift, but we're up to speed with the latest and greatest version of Munis. So again, happy to answer any questions you might have.
All right, questions, feedback, thoughts? All right, seeing
All right.
none, we will move on. Other administrative reports, anything from you
Nothing
tonight?
tonight.
Nothing yet. All right, and then student rep report.
Hey,
Andrew,
awesome.
welcome.
I hope everybody had a great holiday season. So just a quick announcement, the end of Q2 marking period will be on Friday, January 19th, with midterm exams and experiences taking place on Wednesday, January 17th, Thursday, January 18th, and Friday, January 19th. And then moving on, our afternoon of activities before December break on Thursday, the 21st of December, was a great success. Students could choose between the student versus teacher basketball game, which Superintendent O'Shea participated in.
Just participate. Didn't contribute much, but I did participate.
The teacher started off strong, and then let's just say the students came back and went to win it in the end. Things went downhill a little bit for the teachers.
Fatigue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then students could also choose the a Makerspace challenge in Seminar A, as well as watching or participating in the talent show. And it was really, I went back and forth between both, and it was really awesome to see both our student versus teacher basketball game and then all the talent of our awesome student body. And then last week, senior superlatives were announced at all three lunches throughout the week. It was really awesome to see all the students receive their superlatives if they received one, and they got this little picture. You can kind of, if you want to, and you can be in, the categories kind of vary. There's one that's like most likely to get ID'd at 30 or class car, so there's some really awesome and funny ones out there. And then the seniors are also preparing for the senior class play, which will take place sometime in mid-March. And the play is High School Musical, and they've also completed their casting process. So that's all I have.
All right, sounds like a busy month. Thank you. All right, LPVEC, Mary.
We have a meeting next Wednesday night.
All right, thank you. Energy and sustainability is Adam, who's not here. Any heads up there? I know we have something coming up on the agenda in the next few weeks related to that. Seal.
Yeah, so there's a webinar tomorrow night about bullying and what parents need to know, and it's on Zoom, so you can just log in, register ahead of time, be really informative.
All right, wonderful. Middle School Building Committee, I know we're meeting tomorrow, so we'll have an update for our next time. And that brings us to subcommittee reports. There is no finance sub. We do have a policy sub report about an policy that's currently on the district. Michaela, you chaired that? You wanna take that?
So the cybersecurity policy has been posted to the district's website for public input, and the policy will be scheduled to come back to the committee for the second reading on January 30th. And we're actually, the policy subcommittee is meeting after this meeting, either at 7 or whenever this is over.
All right, perfect, thank you. We have no curriculum sub, no evaluation sub, no ongoing business, and that brings us to new business, which I think brings us to Mr. Mazza. Some overnight field trip requests. Oh, you're not taking this one? You're
I'll take
taking-
it. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have, there are two request forms in your packet. One is the CADCA National Forum. This is the Drug-Free Coalition conference that students attend with Paul McNeil and Shelley Warren. You had given this your preliminary approval at a prior meeting, and so tonight we would request you to consider that for final approval. And then there's another one that, an overnight field trip request form for students to attend the Mass Association of Student Council's annual spring conference. This is in April, if the dates are on there. Diane, you might be able to help me. March?
March in Hyannis, I believe.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
It is.
So that one we did not secure preliminary approval on, so we would ask for your final approval on that field trip request, sponsored by Heidi Drawick, assistant principal at the high school.
All right, so both of these need final
Yep.
approval. All right, perfect. Any discussion or questions related to either of these? Seeing none, we have some possible motions, so we'll take them one at a time.
I move that the school committee approve the overnight field trip request for students from Longmeadow High School to travel to Maryland and Washington DC for the 2024 CADCA National Forum, January 28th through February 1st, 2024.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
A second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to a roll call vote. Zach?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
And yes for me as well. We have one more.
Longmeadow High School, sorry.
Oh,
I move on the recommendation of the superintendent that the school committee approve the overnight field trip request for students from Longmeadow High School to travel to Hyannis, Massachusetts on March 6th through 8th, 2024.
we have a motion. Do we have a second?
A second.
Thank you. Any discussion on this one? Seeing none, we'll move to a roll call vote. Zach?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
And yes for me as well. All right, seeing no further business tonight, we are headed towards executive session. We have a nice quick meeting for this evening. I'll entertain a motion to move us to executive session. We will not be reconvening into open session. Drive safely as you head home.
Is it chapter?
Yes,
Okay.
chapter and section.
I move that the school committee meet in executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A, Purpose 3, to conduct a strategy session to protect the litigation position of the school committee, and Purpose 7, consideration of release of executive session minutes of previous meetings, not to reconvene into open session.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
A second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, we'll move to a roll call vote. Zach?
Yes.
Michaela?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
Julie?
Yes.
And yes for me as well. Thank you, and have a lovely evening. We'll see you in a
Bye,
few
Andrew.
weeks. Thank you.